Part 2 of What Am I? Part 1 down in comments. I have taken steps to work on myself. I have stepped up the grooming and wardrobe choices and am working myself up to go back to the gym. I have fulfilled a desire I have had for many years and bought the motorcycle I have wanted since it went into production. I am pleased to say that in carrying myself better and being cleaned up I have noticed others look at me differently and it feels good. Work really has given me a beat down lately. I am a nurse in the intensive care unit at a level I trauma center in a major city. I am actually very good at handling it, but some of what I have dealt with lately has been hard. Patients with very limited physical recovery, but intact mental status. It's tough to be hands-on with someone who can't move or talk but can think. Motorcycle-related deaths and severe injuries are a little scary. I've gotten into a bad place psychologically over the years, and I know it's going to take some work to get out. Strangely, it seems like I have allowed burdens and hang-ups twist me up mentally and weigh on me, while at the core I am a pretty simple, basic and carefree guy. It's odd to have that return in large waves without processing all the accumulated crap, but it really seems as if I could just let it go. I don't know if that's avoidance or a cop-out on doing the work in therapy or just the fact that I am rather good at leaving the crap behind and just being myself without worrying too much about blah, blah, blah. I realize you are right in separating staying with my WW or not and dating, but they seem intricately linked. I know now that I really have to make up my own mind if what she has done is a deal breaker or not. It has some to do with her willingness to show remorse and to work to build a decent marriage, but much more to do with how I feel about it. I have to say, in reading what I wrote to her, I asked myself what kind of self-respecting man would accept this. And would a man with self-respect want to be with a person who did these things? I had really thought commitment, love, affection, comfort, familiarity, and finances meant I had to make a full faith effort at R. But I have to place myself first and consider what is going to work, or not, for me. As I process this and get myself together, I really can't answer if this was a deal breaker. Part of me says no question, this was beyond unacceptable. Walk now, walk fast and walk far. Another part of me says, with time you can get over this. Others have, and healing takes time and work. It can be done. I just don't know if I am gathering strength to heal or to realize the deal is broken. On top of that all, I don't know if my WW can do what it takes to build a marriage I find fulfilling. She certainly seemed to be able to give many of the things I want and need to someone else, but she doesn't seem very capable of giving them to me. I don't know how much patience I have left. I'm tired of worrying about her problems, and if she can't step up and take care of them promptly, I am just going to be done dealing with a frigid woman who could so easily turn it on for someone else. In terms of her doing what it takes to help me heal, I think she has come a long way and is showing real effort, and it is helping. It's sad to think that the last of our marriage may be healing from this and divorcing. A part of me even feels guilty putting her through this process only to build the strength to end it, but a bigger part says tough crap. This is the consequence of her actions. It sucks for me and too bad if it's going to suck for her. I really want to try to R, but I just don't know if it's possible for me or worth it. As a matter of fact, there was some discussion. It was appropriate discussion, not going into further details in a spiteful way or disputing what was said. My WW frankly admitted she had done all those things. She also apologized for jeopardizing my health. She was very sullen and withdrawn for some time after. She said I had clearly laid things out in a factual way, thoughtfully and without excessive hostility. A side effect has been I have realized the extent to which she actively pursued and planned the I was a little lost in the fog of blaming the OM, not really the case. After he asked for kiss, she instigated and escalated deliberately and intentionally. This is coming close to a deal breaker for me, particularly combined with the recognition of what she did for 9 months running. This is a person who plotted and schemed while being all lovey-dovey and passionately physical with her OM all the time, lying to my face and climbing in bed with me. I'm having a hard time finding that to be someone I want to have a marriage with. So, we had a bit of a blowout this morning and it kept my eyes open. Classic narcissistic behavior. Somehow things repeatedly turned to the impact on her. She went to dinner with her girlfriend last night. She was calling repeatedly to let me know where she was, etc. I didn't answer my phone because I was out riding. She said she felt so guilty and I can't live this way. I pointed out the guilt might have been related to the fact she had been going out to dinner with her other man and lying to me about it, and that she knew I was uncomfortable with her friend. She had shaved and discussed what to say to me if I found out with this friend. This friend had asked another friend, if you wanted to sleep with someone other than your wife, how would you do it? She minimized that. I haven't insisted she cut off contact with this friend because she has virtually no one else to talk to. But the whole "I can't live this way" thing is such blatant narcissism. What about the way I'm living, thinking about her chatting away with someone who facilitated her didn't express any concern about that. It's all about her. There was classic projection. I forgot rules 1, 2, and 3. Eyes open and mouth shut. I complained that she wasn't showing me the physical interest I wanted. She countered with she was sorry she wasn't doing it on my timeline, blame shifting. I came back with how painful it was to compare it with the timeline she had with her other man and let slip that I had established the timeline clearly with her Google search history. The immediate reaction: "So you have been sneaking around checking my Google searches." I haven't been sneaking anything. I did that research on D-Day and told her so. But the key thing was the accusation that I was sneaking around. Clearly projection, as she was sneaking around for 9 months or more. She is also projecting that I am hatching a plot to lead her on and yank the rug out from under her. That's exactly what she had been doing for most of a year. I have been quite frank that while I want to and am working at I am not sure if it will work. She said she knows I can be calculating and manipulative and that I have admitted it. I can, but in 12 years of marriage I have not treated her that way. She, on the other hand, has treated me that way, projection. Then she jumped on a single word. I said she had destroyed our marriage. So, she said, "See, you said it, it's over, you should leave, or no, I'll just leave." I explained what I meant, that our previous marriage had been destroyed and if we were to have something now it would be a new marriage built with work. But again, the jump on a single word and the instant conclusion that it meant it was over and her willingness to walk away. I was weak and pleading in my explanation. The argument made her late for work and her more than once said, "This means I won't get a raise at the end of my probationary period." I said being late once isn't likely to have that consequence. But again, the sheer narcissism. This was a manipulation on my part, not the boiling over of feelings I was experiencing. More projection, the focus on the impact on her, without a realization that the feelings I was having and expressing were caused by what she did or compassion for what I was going through. No sign of remorse. And what about the fact that she screwed things up and this is one of the consequences? Then there was the "I have feelings too, this is difficult for me too," coupled with the admission she was not and would not disclose these feelings. She said wouldn't be vulnerable and expose herself. I pointed out I had laid my feelings bare. Again, the narcissist reared its ugly head. "See, this is all about what a terrible person I am. You are good, me bad." The holding back and maintaining hidden feelings doesn't inspire confidence, and her full faith effort to are the whole secret pain and refusal to be vulnerable sounds a lot like a cheater's rationale. There was the rug sweeping too. She said she is focusing on us, not something else that is over, and I keep bringing it back up to punish her. The statement that she is being punished every day. Not true, there have been days without a mention. And that I was going to hold this over her head for the rest of her life. "Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was supposed to get over 9 months of her sleeping with someone else and lying to my face every day in 1 month. Certainly enough not to bring it up at inopportune times. Wait, it was a calculated manipulation my part, that's right. But it's all about her anyway. When I bring it up it's not about my pain or hurt, it's just something I am doing in a calculated manipulative way to punish her. All about her and the overly severe punishment she is suffering. Besides, she is suffering enough from the punishment she is giving herself. But keeping secret and maintaining a wall. What else is going on behind that wall? Although that might seem like some expression of remorse, it really reads like pure narcissism. I was weak more than once and apologized for making her late and ruining her day. I also said I was sincerely interested in and trying to in an altogether unmanly way. I'm going to have to get over that, but at the same time I want her to know I am trying. I realize I made other weak and unmanly missteps. I think it is progress to realize this and think about handling myself better. But I wish I was better at it already. On top of it, my suspicion is raised. If not a relapse to the other man, where is the structure in her schema that prevents another affair? In looking back at what she did, I am left questioning if she was either deliberately malicious or is incapable of empathy. Very sad for me to think that. I also wonder if she was capable of deliberately planning, instigating, and following through with what she has already done. What is she capable of and up to now? Not a comfortable place. She violated my home, risked my health, showed completely callous disregard for my feelings. How much more harm is she willing, capable, and desirous of doing to me? She acted with deliberation and forethought to do things she knew harmed me. Was it intentionally to hurt me? Is she currently do so and escalating? Some might see it as weak to be scared, but to have reasonable fear of one who has acted to hurt you and to consider the possibility it was deliberately malicious seems more smart than weak. Am I just setting myself up for something even worse by being patient and willing to wait to see if genuine remorse emerges? I don't like being in such a dark place and feeling this way about someone I thought I could trust that I though loved me. At the same time, I wonder if I should be taking steps to protect myself. Taking a page from No More Nice Guy, I made it plain she needed to acknowledge the depth of the damage she had done, show regret and work to make it better. Surprisingly, she responded in a thoughtful manner and appeared to be showing some remorse. I have to say it is a killer to wonder if this is all just bullcrap she is throwing up to keep a continuing affair underground. Her past behavior shows she is fully capable of putting up a false front while sleeping around. Hell, even that she was getting off on the excitement and putting one over on me. Knowing she is so completely capable of that keeps my guard up. How truly terrible to be trying to heal from this while wondering if I am still being ducked over. It's truly awful to feel I may just be being played for a fool again, still. It makes going all in for a challenge. At least this time around I am going in with an awareness. I'm pretty sure my reaction to a second D-Day would be more self-assured than to the first. I'm also pretty sure no matter how sophisticated she is in going underground that the truth will out. I'm going to take some time to heal and see how this plays out. Time to really get started on taking care of myself. The gym is coming soon. I'm going to get the shoes, clothes I need. It will feel good to take care of my own needs. She's been my personal shopper. And my own health regardless of if R works. I don't want or need a maid or personal assistant. Perhaps freed of these duties she can do a better job of being what I really want in a wife. A month later, the piece of crap called my WW at her new job the other day. He was informing her that he was pursuing a job at there and would be going in for his second interview. My WW called me from work that day as soon as reasonably possible, in her terms, and informed me of this. She stated that she took the call unknowingly and was in front of multiple coworkers. She stated that she told him they were not starting up where they had left off and that she didn't support him working there. She said that was as clear as she could be in the presence of her coworkers. She has made clear or agreed that if he should come to work there at that very time she would quit and leave immediately. She has said she is considering informing her work that she would not be able to work with this person or just giving her 2 weeks' notice immediately. I disclosed that a car which did not belong in our neighborhood and a person matching his description had been seen. She was angry that I had not told her and I explained I thought she was continuing the affair. She is saying she is afraid for her safety. I assured her that I would protect her and that the people, PI, who had been watching would continue to resume doing so. However, when we were discussing what I knew about the piece of crap in response to repeated questions, she defended him and compared his past actions to mine. Said I was only getting one side of the story. Perhaps the trouble he had gotten into was nothing that had been blown out of proportion. She said maybe the other man's wife was no saint. These clear red flags have let me know the fog remains. She is defending and minimizing the actions of a duking guy who ex-his wife, pursued and had an affair with a married woman including unprotected time, jeopardized his children's stability etc. etc. My respect for my WW has suffered another tremendous blow. My ability to trust that she will not restart, is continuing her is reduced to negligible. When I said I was likely to confront the piece of crap she warned me of his being Jamaican, from the ghetto and having a gun. Sounds like trying to scare me off so she can continue her affair and I won't hear something from the other man that reveals things have been continuing. She claimed she was concerned for my safety and me getting arrested. When I assured her I was capable of managing a tactical situation she pressed for details, as if wanting information to use to warn the piece of crap. Her continued belief that I am stupid and lack insight makes it easy to see through her. I am still having trouble believing that the evil twin is so completely callous and calculating. She will remain unaware that I have a gun and will soon have a concealed carry permit. I have a respect for danger and consequences, but this is a stand-your-ground state and I will defend myself, my family and my home and property with whatever means necessary. That said, my motivation for continuing this marriage is definitely undermined. I think it is possible that her becoming unemployed is positioning on her part to get a de-settlement under which I would have to support her while she carried on her affair. Hard for me to think of the woman I married that way, but I know what she did for most of a year and that has opened my eyes somewhat to the evil twin. As I twist in this uncomfortable limbo, I am doing what I can to take care of myself. I am eating better, going to the gym and gotten some new clothes. I wish I wasn't so socially isolated. Any advice on that would be welcome. She is working the gaslighting and blame shifting to the max now. We had an involved talk in which I mentioned something she wrote in the timeline I asked her to write out. She said I had stated I didn't intend to read it but that I would bring it to the MC. The actual fact is that I told her after she had written it that I started to read it and stopped thinking it was better handled with the MC when I asked her to write it out. I definitely made clear that it was to be read and addressed immediately. She worked the gaslighting as well as she could to say I had said I didn't intend to read it then but deal with it at the MC. This is not the truth but her gaslighting. She then turned things around to issues at the very beginning of our marriage that involved her disappointment and pain and stacked up as many attempts to portray me as not being honest with her. Total blame shift and gaslight. No dealing with what she had written or its clear ugly malice. She even said she didn't remember what she had written. I was cherry-picking one part, but no dealing with the fact of what she had written. To be explicitly clear, she wrote that she was amazed by him. No dealing with the fact that she wrote that and thought that was appropriate for a timeline and to share with the MC. I think both her writing that as part of the timeline and her failure to acknowledge and address doing so makes clear her lack of concern. Hell, her frank malice. Her work towards reconciliation and the heavy lifting she has done pales in comparison to this type of intentionally hurtful, malicious behavior. Also, in the last week when I asked how she could sleep with another man and come home and kiss me, she replied, for the most part it wasn't right after so clearly this ugly hurtful crap is not a thing of the past or a faded fog. She also stated that I couldn't make her leave, showing her intention to manipulate the situation for her maximum gain. She has said I could be one of those terrible wives and demand to be supported in the lifestyle I am accustomed to. But I would not, and I expect nothing from you. Something tells me she was lying. It has become clear to me that she cares nothing about me or my feelings and is concerned only with herself. This should have been obvious from her actions before, but it is now. This current ploy to become unemployed is now transparent. I am drawn to remember a post in another thread that said, "It's only money." Quite frankly, I will protect my financial position as best I can, but in the long run, not being psychologically and emotionally abused is more important than money, and I will find a way to get by one way or the other. I'm sure she will have some satisfaction from screwing me as much as she can, but this will be the final cost I pay. As expensive as it might be, the finality makes it worth it. I should have listened to the advice I received here from the start, but at least I can work to take care of myself and better myself for my own benefit now and let this painful, ugly mess fade into the past as I move forward to a brighter future. I am 52. I am pretty certain I am not looking for another wife. A girlfriend is plenty. I don't need or want to fall into another codependent relationship. She has not had interest in me for quite some time. We have had a non-physical marriage. I owe my responsibility for accepting that. It's pretty clear she is into black guys and that his genitalia are a major mind movie, physical thing for her. I don't really think that is something I am interested in competing with. I am who I am, and if that is not what interests, thrills her, there are certainly others for whom it is. Good bonding is hard to have with a disinterested partner, not to mention one who brings disgusting images to mind. Unprotected time with a man who does that while married with who knows how many partners, an image is more than just but a health concern. Pretty sure I'm not interested in having children, but with an open mind I'm not entirely sure. As to my place on the ranking chart, although she may not place me very high, I am quite sure there are others who do. Regarding the guilt of a WW wife for breaking my spirit, I don't need pity, and my spirit is too strong for one person's terrible actions to break. I have a lot to offer as a person and as a physical partner. Just because it is not what one person wants doesn't mean there aren't plenty of others who feel differently. She said she fears for her safety because he has been around our home while I am at work and because he is now pursuing a job where she works. I realize this is manipulation and blame shifting. I didn't tell her about the out-of-place car and man matching his description the pie saw. I see her manipulation and setting me up to fight for her and the delight and power rush it gives her. I agree this is not a good situation for her claims that she is now afraid of the piece of crap with whom she planned a wedding are contradicted by her defense of him. I may have been a fool, but I am much less so now. I think you're right. She pictures herself supported by my working while doing whoever she wants. That is what she did for most of a year. It seems obvious that is what she envisions for the future. You are right that the relationship is codependent. I obviously need to gain an independent sense of self. Exactly how to resolve this limbo remains a question I don't yet have an answer for. She puts such a piece of crap on the same level as I speak volumes about her values and judgment. For her to equivocate shows she does not respect or appreciate the man I am. I respect myself too much for my worth and quality to be assessed by someone who can't make the distinction between a faithful, loyal husband with a strong moral compass and a lying, cheating piece of crap who pursues other men's wives and doesn't even bother to use a condom. Anyone who can't see a clear difference lacks the capacity to understand my worth. Perhaps I remain a fool in being willing to extend such a chance. Perhaps I am assuming a martyr role in being willing to endure such bull crap. The fact is I am far stronger and more caring than anyone can see. I will survive, and the further pain and burdens I bear are of my own choosing. If I cannot find what I need and want in my marriage, I will move on, perhaps not in the model presented here, but I will have a clear conscience and an inner peace. Until death befalls me, it is not the end. My life has been and will most certainly continue to be a rich and rewarding adventure. She has done a good deal of accepting responsibility and acknowledging what she did was wrong. In discussions about problems that exist in our marriage, she always notes they are in no way an excuse or justification for what she did. She is being transparent to a large degree. She ended her toxic friendship, taking responsibility and admitting wrongdoing. She notified me promptly about contact, and is clear that should the piece of crap come into her work, she will leave immediately and permanently. She has fully accepted that this is a consequence of her actions. She has apologized on several occasions. More often she has admitted she made a horrible mistake or did something very wrong. She is working for the M and doing some heavy lifting in the R. It doesn't seem to rise to the level of fighting hard for something she deeply wants. I'm a little on the fence about this. Is she doing as much as she is capable of and my expectations are unreasonable, or is she half-hearted? A tough question with some significant considerations: her actual capacity, the broad range of stressful factors, her lack of social support, etc. I think if she pursues, I see very soon, and how things go after that has begun will be telling. How much longer I am willing to put up with this? Not much longer. I am starting to heal from the impact of Discovery Day. I am looking at my WW with open eyes, and despite my patience, caring, and love for her, she must become someone who can meet my needs, fulfill my desires, and be a decent and worthwhile partner. My standards aren't as low as some might think, and my evaluation is going to base on actions, my open-eyed observations, and the totality of my feelings. With the number of negative feelings and my awareness that decency is a long walk for her, it is going to take serious concerted effort on her part. Perhaps she does not actually respect the man I am. I think maybe she thinks she should, but I am not sure that is what is in her core. She has actually said as much, that she has learned that the type of man she was seeking in an affair is not what she should be looking for, but that the kind of man I am is. Again, this is words, deeds, and her genuine feelings are still in question. I don't feel like I am wasting more time and effort on a doomed endeavor. I am going through the healing process. I am gaining an understanding of who I am and of the woman I am married to. I have been quite clear that this is a chance to attempt R, and that the likelihood of success is limited and dependent on real progress. I'm comfortable not having a specific timeline, but my patience is limited and I have clear boundaries. My WW has said she is trying to earn my forgiveness. I can see attempts on her part to understand herself, accept herself, and to better herself. She is making efforts to be a better wife. The questions I am left with are: is it enough effort, and is the level of success enough for me? I have a sense of my own worth. I have a clear conscience and am proud of the moral character I have developed. In the past, before this marriage, I was not a very good person, but I made a choice to become better and have rather successfully lived out that choice. I can be sincere, kind, and honest without being a doormat. I know my lines in the sand, and even without a time frame I have a sense of the limits of my patience. I am not willing to sacrifice myself or my chance for happiness out of love for a woman. If she doesn't check back in and can't or won't give me what I want and need, I can and will walk away. I don't think my patience so great that this will go on until she ditches me. My realization will probably come first, or she will turn out to become a fulfilling and worthwhile partner. I am moving from desperation, dependence, low self-esteem towards self-acceptance, and actively seeking to have my needs and desires met. Very sad to me to consider, with all the work and healing we have both done, it may just be flogging a dead horse. But better to realize that and let it go. There has been some significant remorse, although often really self-pity, on her part, and some heavy lifting. She just doesn't seem to be shouldering the load with the effort and determination required for success. Sadly, it is likely because she is not that into Plan B. The continued gaslighting and lying has to stop soon and completely. My patience is near its end. If she doesn't want what I am and have to offer enough to come clean, maintain honesty, and do whatever is necessary, she will be free to seek whatever she wants soon enough. Time for and more work on myself. I need to improve to be able to rebuild a decent relationship, and more importantly, to gain a strong, comfortable sense of self. I'm not going to get anything decent out of life if I'm not ready and capable of making it happen and being a part of it. My comment: I thought this was a doormat story, but OP might finally snap out of it in the end. What a timeline. I think the constant rug sweep was the red flag to this marriage. How can you have a relationship with no honor?